Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you, I'm going to save this. Now the next thing I want to show you guys is the drop cap. And the drop cap is also in the video, you could see, but it's pretty simple, the drop cap. There's different ways that you can do the drop cap, but I'm just going to show you the one way. And then maybe next week when I do another demo to advance you as you guys feel more comfortable inside InDesign, I'll show you other ways to do drop caps as well. So I'm going to zoom into here and I'm going to put a drop cap. A drop cap really helps bring the viewer in, just like the lead in. It kind of tells you that this is the beginning of the article. So what a lot of people don't realize is a drop cap is it drops into a group of lines. So I don't need to highlight this and make it bigger. It's an automatic feature inside of InDesign. You just click inside the box here, and up here to the left-hand side in your control panel is a paragraph format button. This little paragraph format button will change your control panel up here. And when it changes this, it also changes the section that says drop cap. And these are drop caps right here. This one's a drop cap and says the number of lines. So I just click this and there I'm getting my drop cap. And so you could do drop caps that really, really big or really small. I don't want a really big drop cap on this one because I have a 2-column, and if I make it too big, then the text is only going to be 1 or 2 lines, and that looks really bad. So I'm just going to keep it small. But if I wanted to make this drop cap bigger, I would probably want this to be like 1 big column. So we're just going to work with this right now. And actually, I also want to work with indents instead of spaces. So I'm going to do a little indent. No, I don't like that. I like the space better. The other thing too, inside this text, we haven't sized this text here. This text currently is default 12 point, and it might even be a different size if you brought it in and you didn't take out the formats. So this text has to be 10 point. It should not be 12 point. So I'm going to select this text by selecting all, and selecting all means that it selects everything in this text box. All the things that we can't see is also selecting. So I'm going to go up to my type tool, and right here it says 12 point, and now I can change it to 10 point. And if you notice, it doesn't really change much on the drop cap, because the drop cap is 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. So if the 4 lines get smaller, then the drop cap gets smaller. So now I did that. And then if I wanted to even change the typeface, which I do want to do, you guys want to make sure you're not using the default, which is Minion. That's a no-no. It's on the list of typefaces you're not allowed to use. So I'm going to find another typeface. I can use Avenir again. I don't see why not, but I like to use a sans serif typeface. A serif-based typeface. I've worked on magazines where they had sans serif typefaces like Avenir. But I'm going to work, I'm going to choose a serif typeface. And I'm going to choose Lucinda. No, I don't want it that one. Let's try to pick something like Baskerville. Let's pick Baskerville. Okay. So that's the typeface Baskerville. I'm going to change this typeface to Baskerville, or I can even change it to Avenir because it matches more of what this is. So I'm going to change this to Avenir. Avenir medium. There it is. And it's going to have to be a little bit smaller. So everything is selected. Select all. So next then to make it smaller. There it is. And there's some things that I don't like over here, so I'm going to push this to the next line. When you want to push text to the next line, when you are in InDesign, you don't want to push return. You want to do what's called a soft return, which is shift return. So I'm going to show really quick my hidden characters. And if you notice, the hidden characters look like this. If you push return, you get a little paragraph indicator right here. And that's not what you want to do when you're working inside of InDesign. If you're just pushing the text to the next line, but you want to keep it in the same paragraph, you want to do a soft return, which is shift return. And it creates this kind of L-shaped character. You can't see it because I'm showing the invisible characters, but the same here. This is a dash, so I don't really like that dash there. So I don't mind the "and" there, but I don't like this with it having A hanging out here. So I'm going to click before that, and I'm going to do shift return, and it pushes it to the next line. So those of you who know how to use InDesign, that was an extra little thing for you. And then I'm going to hide. I'm going to go to type hide hidden characters so that we don't need those. Okay. Save.